Hi everybody. Well, this is my 1948 Allis Chalmers G, which I think is honestly the best garden tractor ever built. This tractor was my great-grandpa's and it was handed down to my grandpa, and my grandpa handed it down to me before he passed away. And it's an original engine, never been rebuilt, still runs excellent. I use it primarily for cultivating. It's pretty much the ideal tractor for cultivating, just because, completely open view in the front. Some of the farmalls had, the cultivation set up where the engine was off to the side, which was decent too. But this is just completely designed for cultivating. As you can see, there's a couple custom things on here. This is a custom weight box that my great-grandpa made. It actually works really well. These weights actually can slide right out. They just sit in there. And at one point he actually had a sprayer on the back of this tractor, which really made the front end very light. It has manual lift, which it keeps everything really simple. It works very well, super easy. Has spring assist. There's a spring right there. And a little custom toolbox he put on here many years ago. I should have an extra set of cultivators on here, but I actually have the ones on the back to make up for the two that are missing there, which covers the same spot. But I did a lot of work to this tractor here in the past couple years. I did an exhaust manifold, rebuilt the carburetor, did a bunch of minor things to it, put a new fan assembly on it, which was starting to grind and bearings were going out in it. But it really does an absolutely great job in cultivating. It has a little Continental N62 motor, makes about 10 to 11 horsepower at the most, just very small engine. But these engines were in a lot of different tractors and forklifts and all different kinds of stuff. I think they may have put them in possibly even generators back in the day. But it's a very, very narrow tractor. It fits right over top of the rows really well. Really narrow little wheels. Fits. I think it was designed primarily for like 36 inch rows, which is pretty much what it's meant for. They actually had little plows for these too, but I don't see that would be really too useful just based on how light the little tractor is. But all the weight is on the back of the tractor, which really helps with traction. It's just a really simple, well-designed little tractor. The only thing that is a little bit difficult for cultivating when you get into the bigger stuff, like I use it for potatoes a lot, and as you can see, the engine sits sort of low, so I can't cultivate potatoes that are terribly tall. But I have a little Massey Harris pony for that, so that's what I use for when the potatoes get taller. But I actually have the shields that go in the cultivators. They fit right on those little brackets that I made. Helps for when the stuff's really small. But it's a little, this one actually has 4 gears. It has the creeper gear in it, which is super slow, which is really nice for cultivating very small stuff. It works. You can cultivate corn that's 1.5 inches tall and avoid covering it. It works really well. And the steering wheel is actually slightly offset too, which allows you to see right down, clear view right down to where you're cultivating. So really nice. Just a really cool old tractor. There was only I think maybe around 30,000 of these made, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, these are pretty sought after tractors. Yet I actually saw a couple at an auction this past weekend that actually sold pretty decent prices. They didn't even have all the parts with them that you really needed. So this is definitely something I will keep the rest of my life. This is just a treasured piece of farm equipment to me. It's very good uses here on the farm, and just a really unique piece. My great-grandpa actually the reason he bought this, he had a Farmall Cub, and the Farmall Cub actually ran out of power pulling the little manure spreader up the large hills we have. And this tractor here was geared different, similar size engine, but this tractor could actually pull the manure spreader, unlike the Farmall Cub, which would actually run out of power and not even spin the tires. So that's it definitely pushed me away from Farmall Cubs. I thought about getting one, but they just really don't seem to have enough power to be really worthwhile unless you have like really flat little tiny garden. But this tractor can actually have enough power to go up a hill and do what you need to do, and it's definitely something I'll be using for many years to come, because it actually still runs just as good as what it did when it was 50 years ago. So yep, this is one, if you ever find one in nice shape, definitely pick it up, because they're a really cool machine. If you do any cultivating, this is the tractor. There's nothing else that can compare. All right, have a good day.